When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious...
Hello, Michael.
Good afternoon, Bob.
What's going on, buddy? It's Sunday Night Football this week.
Yeah, at, what is it, almost noon?
Yeah, it's noon, so we're leaving early today. We just figured, heck, why not get down there to the stadium, wait in line to get in the parking lot, plug in our TV and watch the 1 o'clock games here, Get the podcast out a little bit early, get a little,
and the lot
toasty.
The lot's open at, I think, 3 anyways, so it's not like we're going terribly early, but...
So we're just gonna go and, I think, just park up that little Sheriff Road driveway there to the red zone line,
leading
and
in.
then just hope they let us in, or just sit here in our camper van and wait in line.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping they let us in a smidge early, but we'll see. We've never been there this early before.
So. And that's the whole thing, man. I'm so glad because, the whole concept of this podcast kind of started off with us being, first to the stadium, and we have yet to be first to the stadium.
So this is week 9, and we're
early.
Yeah.
We are definitely early birds to the stadium. Just have yet to be first. So today we're going to be first. I hope they don't have that whole thing just roped off, or else we're just going to find a gas station parking lot or something to just hang out at.
I don't know.
This really doesn't have a lot to offer.
This will be a learning experience for us. Like you said, normally we're there within a half an hour of them having opened the lot, but we're never right there when it opens. So we'll see. It'll be a learning experience. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So it is 11:46. Daylight savings. So it's what time is it actually? 12:46.
Yeah, it's actually 12:46.
I'm going to act...
In old time.
Yeah, in old time. I'm going to act like it's 12:46 all day. I'm going to act like daylight savings didn't happen, which would mean kickoff is going to be at 9:15 instead of 8:15 if I keep this mentality.
Yes.
Right? And then guess what I'm going to do, Mike?
What are you going to do?
When I get home, then I'm going to, in my mind, go back an hour. And so I get back that hour tonight going into Monday,
Okay, well, that's a little bit of flawed logic, but okay, if it works for you.
What do you mean?
I mean, the time change has already happened. The hour has already happened. You can't get it back.
No, but in my mind, I'm going to tell myself that it's not 11:47, it's 12:47 right now. And that everybody else is just operating differently. And then I'm going to get that hour back in sleep tonight. I'm going to bank that hour all the way in my mind until tonight.
Okay, well, that's not how it works, but moving on, that's fine.
Okay, this is the Command and Commute podcast where we press record, leave in the driveway, and we upload it to the stadium, people. So this is what's in store for today's podcast. So obviously, I'm done talking about daylight savings. We're going to break down, not really break down, just kind of recap our Kansas City Chief loss last week, which, man, we came out hot, didn't we?
Yeah, and then it fizzled.
Yeah. So we're going to just talk about that for a little bit. And then today we've got our throwback jerseys for Sunday Night Football. I believe both teams are wearing their throwbacks, but I don't care about Seattle's. Nobody cares about Seattle's throwbacks. Everybody cares about the Washington Redskins Super Bowl era Commanders throwback jerseys.
You've got yours on.
I've got my new
right now. Mine's in the back.
New Jaden Daniels throwback jersey on. You're wearing yours today as well?
Yeah, it's in the back, but I've got it. Yeah.
So in keeping with the throwback, the organization has decided to retire Art Monk's jersey. And he retired in 1995. His last season with the Skins was 93. Of course, he does what a lot of aging players do, and they cap off the end of their career with a couple other teams just to see if there's anything left in the tank. but we're not really qualified to talk about him. So we got Pops coming on the pod to kind of tell us his memories of Art Monk.
Yeah, we'll leave it to the expert.
Yep. And then we've got our can't lose locks. We got to see how I did last week, how you did last week, and obviously everybody finally got to meet Tom in last week's episode. So we'll see how Tom did in the can't lose locks. And then our fourth quarter, wrapping up as we drive to the stadium, we're going to talk about the Seahawks, the Sunday night football game, and the implications and Mike, this game here is
Must win.
Code red. I mean, we are in playoff mode, not necessarily single elimination, but we can't really afford that many more losses with 9 games left to go.
Yeah, I mean,
if we want to have a chance at making the playoffs and anything outside of that.
Yeah, we'll talk on that a little bit later, but it's definitely a must win, and I'll just leave it at that.
I think everybody that follows the team knows this. Like, we're not talking.
No, we're not. We're not breaking any news. I mean, if you've been watching us and you know what our record is and you know how we've been playing, you know that this is week 9. We're at the halfway point of the season. It's time to put up or shut up. Okay, so.
And for an injury-plagued season, I'll tell you, this bye week could have came a little earlier for our squad if we really
probably wouldn't
wanted to put a wish list.
Probably would have been a good thing for it to come a little bit earlier this year, but again,
we're so banged up.
But for the second year in a row, we've got an extremely late bye week. So
yeah, I don't know what you'd prefer. I mean, I guess it really just depends on how your season's
if we were playing well like we were last season, later is good. If we're not playing well like we're not playing well this season, and we've got several injured players, I probably would have preferred to have it, say, this week or last week or even next week, but that's not the way that the scheduling gods made it be, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but any given Sunday, I mean, based off of where we thought we were, we had thought there was some winning streaks in our schedule, and we need it now. We need it to start tonight, basically.
We definitely do.
We have yet to really put together a streak. So, man, not to get too depressing on how our season's going, there's still a lot of football left to play, and if there's any fan base that can be optimistic, it's ours.
That's for sure.
So anyway, let's keep the depressing talk going, and let's just kind of feed this right into last week's recap. We came out hot.
Yeah, we were ready to play. I was shocked, just because we had never really played that good. But it was nice to see us come against Kansas City and be ready to play. We were lights out that first half. It was awesome.
Yeah, it really was. It was so much. That first half was so much fun, and I don't know about you, but were you just waiting for it to drop off, or were you just hoping, thinking that
No, honestly, I was just riding the wave. Of course, you always suspect that wave's going to crash at some point, but I really thought going into halftime, we've got a legitimate shot to win the game, because we kept the penalties under control. I think the first flag wasn't thrown until the second quarter, but it just seemed like after halftime, Kansas City kind of caught up, or maybe we just didn't.
There was a couple opportunities, I think, that were left out there in the first half, and I don't want to pick apart the decision making when it comes to the football stuff, because those our coaching staff knows a heck of a lot more than I do. But at the same time, I watch everything everybody else does, and there were two opportunities in that first half where we opted to go for the touchdown. There was no points up on the board yet, and we went for it on fourth and didn't get it. I think twice when we could have got the field goal. And
Yeah,
I think that goes into what we feel is. I mean, I like our special teams aside from our.
I think it just means we didn't have faith in that.
No complaints on Trust Way.
I just think we didn't have faith in that kicker because we cut him the very next day. Whatever the hell his name was doesn't matter. He's not with us anymore. But I think it was just
no points. But at the same time, too, you knew there would be some.
Yeah.
But you knew this wasn't going to be a defensive game from start to finish. And that first half was definitely a defensive game on both sides because they came up with it. A couple times.
Yeah, there were several turnovers in the first half, which shocked me.
This will be the first of a couple apologies on this week's pod. Not like huge apologies, but like my bad. You know, not like, oh my gosh, please forgive me, but my bad, Marshawn Lattimore, for giving you such a hard time on last week's pod. I've just been frustrated out of his play, but his interception, which, by the way, is his first interception as a commander.
Well, it's about damn time.
It's about damn time. Lizzo that shit. But yeah, I mean, I was surprised with the turnovers that we created. Kansas City definitely looked sloppy. It wasn't an exciting first half, but boy, did they shut us down, and it was a tale of two halves for sure.
Yeah.
You know, Mariota is a good QB, good backup QB. But he's yet to really show me four quarters, and I can't blame everything in the second half on Mariota. There was some crucial drops in a few places that were so frustrating. Our offense just wasn't clicking.
Well, it hasn't really been clicking all season, hence the record that we find ourselves.
We have spurts, but nothing too much. Okay, the couple other good things about the game. We've got some good vets. I mean, I like what Ertz gives us, and he had his he became one of six tight ends in NFL history to hit the 800 reception mark. And which I think once we talk to Pops here in a little bit and we go through our month statistics, we'll see how impressive that is for Ertz to kind of hit that mark. I didn't realize he was that high up there, but he's had a long, productive career.
Yeah.
So that congratulations for Ertz kind of hitting that milestone. And then what's the other note that I had from last week? Oh, Terry. We got to talk about Scary Terry and his return, his short-lived return.
Yeah, short-lived.
Because he's out this week.
But the toe tap touchdown was awesome.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, 2 of his 3 catches in the game were under review and reversed from the call on the field. So that should tell you how close they were. Both needed instant replays to get in. That toe tap was insane. It was almost like the paint on the field tripped him, you know?
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah.
I went nuts.
It just goes to show how badly our team needs him, because he can be productive under any circumstance at any time.
I mean, if you are
He can make things happen.
if you're creating like a Madden rating for Terry McLaurin, and whichever column when you get to all of their attributes and everything, him under contested catches and him making just wild receptions, he's 100. He if you throw it anywhere in the vicinity, it doesn't matter if that ball's at his ankles. It seems like he's going to come away with it.
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. He's so impressive, and it seems like the other catch that he had that went under review, where basically instead of the 2 feet getting in, it was a elbow, forearm, quad.
Oh yeah, you're right.
As he was kind of going out toward the sideline on that dive. I believe that's the play that he got re-injured on. So, because he had quad injury.
Yeah, I was wondering where the re-injury happened because, as I was watching the game, nothing stuck out. So when they said that he had re-injured, I'm like, wait, where and when? Because everything looked fine.
Well, think about it like this. People don't do belly flops in the pool for a reason. They hurt, right? You're going into, am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
They hurt, right? Now, imagine you did a belly flop not on the water, on the field, and you've got another guy landing immediately right on top of you, on top of a pre-existing injury. So, I can see how he can get re-injured there. Those pads are, they're not doing everything.
Right.
They don't make you invincible.
No, we certainly know that.
But back to that toe tap that Terry had, that was almost more impressive because of the impressive toe tap that we had seen a couple plays prior by Luke.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was in that same drive or the drive before, but Luke had an awesome toe tap, and for a hot second there, what the heck is this car? That's like what kind of miniature-ass Jeep is that?
I don't know. I've never seen anything quite like that before.
Looks like a mix between like a regular Jeep and like a kid's Jeep.
Yeah, I don't know.
A little two-seater Jeep.
Never seen anything like that before.
Huh. Well, he's booking it like it's almost like the size of a four-wheeler, an ATV.
Yeah, it's probably about that size. Yeah. Certainly no bigger than that.
Like a big Jeep golf cart on the road.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's from the 70s or something.
Who knows? Don't know, don't care.
Hardtail, don't care. Well, cared for a second. But, yeah, Luke, when he got that reception, it was on a play where I felt like, oh, maybe they're trying to integrate Luke into the offense here today.
Yeah, I thought that for a minute.
Because I think he got another look earlier, and it was like, oh, the second time we heard Luke's name outside of returns.
Yeah, he had 3 receptions on 3 targets for about 24, 25 yards. In total, I think he saw, I've got it written down here, 51% of the snaps, which was second among the receivers. He saw 51% of the snaps.
Well, Terry, I don't think played a snap in the fourth quarter. Maybe in that first drive. Which, whenever Mariota slammed that football on the field, frustration. That's when everybody knew. You were still holding on like a glimmer, but that was the drive where we needed to put points up on the board, or else we really didn't have.
And I think we all felt that frustration at that time. So like, I sympathized with him and knew, like, yeah, I get it. Like it's, everything's coming to a head at that point. And it's like, you're trying to make stuff happen, trying to move down the field, trying to do this, trying to do that. It's just not clicking.
Right. Yep. All right. Well, do you have anything else to add about the recap from last week's? We are 3-5. We got beat 28-7.
28-7. That was the final score. The only score was the Terry touchdown. So, not really much more to say about the game, to be honest. I think we've said everything that needs to be said.
Yeah. These losses are just a little bit heavy, Doc.
They are.
What's wrong with the gravitational pull in the future?
Where do you want me to start?
All right. Well, so since we're playing Seattle, we figured this would be a good opportunity to play our latest, or not our latest, but a repeat of one of our previous fake sponsors, Command Coffee. So enjoy this fake advertisement. Please don't try to do business with Command Coffee. Actually, no, I take that back. I'll make Command Coffee if somebody wants to buy coffee from us. Go ahead.
Enjoy this coffee break with a fake coffee advertisement. This is what an ad for your coffee brand might sound like on our podcast. But today is brought to you by Command Coffee. There's nothing like the open road, the hum of tires, the sunrise over the interstate, the rich aroma of Command Coffee in your cup. Brewed for fans on the move. Slow dripped through a 1998 Chevy hubcap for that authentic rest stop flavor. Notes of optimism, asphalt, and just a hint of beef jerky. Like a football drive, it keeps pushing forward until the end zone. Find it wherever roads take you. Truck stop laundromats, abandoned toll booths, or that gas station that swears it has clean bathrooms. So when your GPS says, continue straight for 173 miles, let Command Coffee keep you company. One sip feels like a hug from a stranger you probably shouldn't trust, but somehow do. Command Coffee. The best part of driving is pretending it's safe to drink this stuff while you do it.
Coffee, fuel for the driving, command your life. Coffee, fuel for the driving, command your life. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Command Coffee not responsible for missed exits, fumbled snaps, spontaneous air guitar, or the belief your minivan does 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Side effects: yelling touchdown at red lights, giving drive-through pep talks, or thinking your cup holder is a Gatorade cooler. Do not attempt a 2-minute drill while consuming Command Coffee. Consult your mechanic if your car believes it's a wide receiver.
We're on. So let's get away from the depressing talk. Let's start to bring things back up here, Mike. We're wearing, we're wearing the throwbacks, and you and me, like many Washington fans, are, I think, still depressed that they changed the name. They took all of our, they took our team away from us.
Yeah.
They turned us into this, like,
We've talked about that
team,
in
but
previous
not-
episodes.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to offend anybody, but I never looked at it as offensive. They were always just my football team, and I miss the logo, I miss the name, I miss the jerseys and the team that I grew up with. So,
Couldn't agree more.
I mean, I don't know if there's a world where things could go back, where they can flip-flop it back.
This is probably the closest we'll ever get.
I would love if these new throwbacks we had would just become our
Permanent jerseys.
permanent whites,
Yes.
our permanent white jerseys, because
Well, the current white ones, I am not a fan of. I don't like the cranberry
Does.
color with the white. It just, it doesn't work for me.
nobody likes them. I've asked everybody. I've polled them. I asked them, and everybody said they don't like them. So they should just go with these, and they should go with the gold face masks, and they should go with the burgundy, gold, and white stripe down the middle of the helmet.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna take all that away from, and you know what, if we can't get our old logo back, can we get a spear on the helmet? Can we
Like
get
the old throwback
or
uniforms.
can
Yeah.
we get a feather off the W? Is that? Can we do that?
Who knows? Maybe it'll be a slow integration. Maybe this is step one of several that the new ownership has in mind. But
I'll
we'll
tell
see.
you what.
We'll
We're gonna
see.
find out between now and 2030, the time of the stadium, because that stadium is going to be designed for the future, for Harris's entire ownership tenure.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
if this is the first of many little slow burns, little unveilings to bring things back, then I would love that. I don't know how far he can take it, and if there's a climate in society where we can bring it back. But man, I'd love to. But speaking of the throwbacks, is what we were saying a little bit earlier. Art Monk's jersey's getting retired, so he's a little bit before our time.
Yes.
So we're bringing Pops back onto the pod to kind of break down his memories of Art Monk and kind of educate us and some of our younger listeners. And it's hard to call us all young. We're getting up there, but
your dad is definitely more qualified to talk about him than I think we'll ever be.
I looked up his highlights. I looked up his stats. I'm educated on his history and his career, but really looking forward to kind of getting into things with Dad about all that. So let's talk about Art Monk a little bit.
Well, from the time I first picked up a football, I fell in love with this game. It's all I ever wanted to do. From playing tackle in the streets of White Plains to playing in the stadiums in the NFL, I never ever imagined that it would take me this far. It's taken a lot of hard work and sacrifice and the belief from people at times when I didn't believe in myself. I've experienced some exciting moments. I've met some extraordinary people, and I have a lot of great memories that I will never forget. This is the icing on the cake for me, and I take it very seriously. And I'm extremely honored to now be included with this group of elite athletes and to do so with my class of 2008. I will wear the banner with pride, and I will represent it well. Thank you.
Go live right now, so you're on. So we appreciate you coming on and kind of educating. I already kind of set the tone with the listeners in terms of the fact that we're not really qualified to talk about Art Monk because we didn't really get to see his career the same way that you did. So what's your memories? What's your thoughts on Art Monk and his retirement?
Well, he was part of all the Super Bowls. I mean, winning Super Bowls, number one.
He won 3.
I mean, not many. Yeah. So, I mean, and how many players can say that with one team? I mean, with the Redskins anyway, because, I mean, the Redskins won 3 Super Bowls in 82, the 82 season, so 83, 91, and 87,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So he was part of all 3 of them. And there weren't a lot of players back then that could say that. You know, there was some, but not a lot. So, and he was an integral part of the team back then. He was first round draft. I went over some statistics with you the other day about Art Monk, and I was reading this morning about Art Monk, and one of the biggest statistics I found fascinating was he had 888 receptions for the Redskins. 2/3 of those receptions were for first downs. I mean, think about that for a minute, right? 2/3. So every 3 receptions, 2 out of 3 were for first downs.
Wow.
So when you hear commentators today go, "Oh, who do we need to get this ball to get a first down?" I mean, come on. I mean, that's an interesting statistic, isn't it? When you agree?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, obviously that's not a statistic that I've really even heard before. But when 2 out of 3 of your balls do that, or catches do that, then I guess that's when you hear that stat that and you'll, I'm sure, tell me, because we were chatting about this the other day, but it seems like in terms of wide receiver statistics, like for his era, he's it. Like, he's number
Yeah.
one.
Well, he held the record for most reception in a season for 8 years. The record was 106 receptions, and I think he got that early on in his career, maybe the third or fourth year of his career, and then it was good for 8 years. And there were so many other statistics about, especially when he retired, that he held. Some of the other stats that he was a leader in, like receptions and receptions, number of receptions or number of touchdowns. And so forth. Anyway, but what was a shame was that he didn't get into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. And people could not believe that. It was ridiculous to retire.
Do you remember that time frame and what some of those like stories? Because obviously it was a story if everybody kind of thought that he was a first ballot. Like, do you remember what some of the ESPN people and some of the NFL writers and all those people? Do you remember like a consensus as to why?
I don't. But you know what's interesting? I'd love to look back and see who was elected to the Hall of Fame instead of him on the first ballot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like how worthy was? They had to have been super worthy. Come on.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to be.
But
right?
But at what point? You know, by the time he retired, if he was number one in receiving and yards as well.
Yeah.
Yards and catches and maybe not touchdowns, but
not touchdowns, I don't think.
But top five?
Sure. Oh yeah. Every category at that time, every category.
So that's where it's kind of weird for me to kind of wrap my head around, like what was being held against him.
I'll tell you how big of a diss it was, right? If this doesn't show you anything. When he did get elected to the Hall of Fame, and he still holds the record for this, right? When he did get elected to the Hall of Fame, he set the record for longest standing ovation in Hall of Fame history and still has it to this day, over 4 minutes long. So what I'm saying to you is when he did get it, everybody recognized that, you know, this should have happened a long time ago. And they recognized it with the applause for over 4 minutes of standing ovation, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I clipped together and posted a video to our social media accounts with some of his highlights and an introduction, and I actually watched back. His whole Hall of Fame speech. His son introduced him. I mean, he's very well spoken, very Christian, religious based. It's still just weird to me hearing the whole story as to why he didn't get in. It's kind of like the equivalent to the storylines you hear about a highly touted player that was thought to go top 10 and just dropped in the rounds and stuff like that. It's like, how long is he gonna drop? How long are you gonna wait until he's deserving? I mean, how many more players do you feel are more deserving than him? But yeah, obviously a huge testament to his career. And obviously now, I mean, the ownership doing a good job of making sure that these players get the recognition that they deserve. Dan Snyder almost, kind of in hindsight here, missed out on an opportunity to retire his jersey earlier and kind of give him the recognition that the Hall of Fame wasn't.
Missed out.
Well, this owner
didn't want to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see this ownership doing it, right?
Oh, 100%. Which also kind of leads me to think, then, Mike, we should have been a little bit more prepared, but what other jerseys do you think are yet to be retired? What's the next one? I don't think Riggins' jersey is retired. I feel like if you're going to go back to anybody else, then it's got to be Riggo.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it seems as if the numbers that get retired, not just with the Redskins organization or the Washington organization, but all NFL organizations, is those positions which, kind of the limelight at running back and quarterback and receivers and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody should overlook how important the offensive line for the Washington Redskins was in their heyday. Almost all of those guys were all pro for many, many years, and a few of them are Hall of Famers. And, a guy like Russ Grimm, who spent almost his whole career with the Washington Redskins, was a all pro. And
He's the only guy that I think that's not it.
Joe Jacoby, Mark May, Jeff Bostic, all the Hogs. But I think if you picked one lineman, I would pick Russ Grimm, an offensive guard, as like the face of the Washington Redskins offensive lines back in that era. And his number would certainly be deserving, but
No, I like that. That's an interesting perspective, because you're right. Those position players, those productive statistical players, tend to get a lot of that. And Rigo doesn't need his jersey retired, but with Grimm, it would mean a lot to him. I think, especially because he's the last Hog not in the Hall.
Jacoby's not in the Hall.
Oh, is Jacoby the one that's not in?
Yeah, but Grimm's in.
One. Okay.
Grimm's in.
Well,
Jacoby's
then maybe
not.
it should
But
be Jacoby. He's not the best, but he there's something to be said. They're all in our Ring of Fame, but there's like a different level of distinction between like the Ring of Fame and your jersey being retired. I believe Sean Taylor's number. I believe Sonny Jurgensen, and I don't know if anybody else. We're gonna find out today. But hey, what position? Not to kind of sway away from Art Monk, but what position or what player do you think in the Dan Snyder era, in my era of football, we'll call it 2000s and on, what player do you think would, because Santana Moss just got in our Ring of Fame, what's another player that you think of this new era would be good in our a new inductee of the Ring of Fame?
in today's?
From,
You mean today?
From 2000 and on. Kind of from Dan Snyder's era. Because I think pretty much you've got Fletcher up there and you've got Santana Moss in the Ring of Fame. I wonder who would be the next really good decision, a really good player that's well deserving to kind of go up there. You kind of defer back to a player that you drafted that spent the majority, if not all, of his career with us. So names like Kerrigan and Cooley come to mind, right?
Yeah.
Anybody
And there
else?
was a couple of running backs, right? They gave us their all, and let's face it, a running back's career is short-lived. I mean, what's the average? Like 5 years, right? 4.5, 5 years, right? So I mean, you can't fault a guy for having that span of career at that position. Stephen Davis kind of gave us all he had for what, 6 years, 7 years,
Yeah.
So what is it? Yeah. You should actually look at the position and how long they lasted, not just how long they lasted, across the board, right?
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. If the average, I don't know. I always kind of defer back to like, if they signed a second contract with us, then they're us. You can wear their jersey forever, because that second contract gets you to that 5, 6, 7 year span, depending upon the length of each contract and when you got them.
Right.
But
Yeah, so a guy like that lasted with us for a long time and gave us a few thousand yard rushing years and then some. So, but I mean, let's face it, we've had below average teams record wise for a reason during that time frame, right?
Right.
So that's why it's so hard to name someone.
Yeah.
I mean, we blame it on Dan Snyder, and we can blame it on Dan Snyder, but we didn't have the players.
Right.
We don't have them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they shouldn't just get in just because. But, I mean,
No.
we did have some players where, man, if we had good teams around them, they would have been really good. So, I don't know. It's fun and depressing to kind of look back on some of those time frames, but obviously fun when you're looking back on Art Monk and seeing all those catches come through. What do you think his current day player comp would be in today's game? Like, what would be his comparable player?
It's so hard because, he was big. He was 6'3", and I think they listed him at a little bit lower weight than he actually was. I would say he went 220. They're going to tell you he probably went 205, 210, but he was a big guy. And, but he wasn't your long, I mean, he caught plenty of long touchdowns in his career or long receptions, but he wasn't the prototypical threat like Randy Moss would be on a deep ball. He was a possession receiver that gets you 25 yards really, really nicely,
Right. Doesn't sound like he had a lot of yards after the catch.
I mean, he had some, but it wasn't like he was just Mr. Dependable.
Right.
Larry Fitzgerald. How about Larry Fitzgerald? You remember him?
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Larry Fitzgerald, very much like Art Monk,
Okay.
right?
All right.
Larry Fitzgerald. 15 to 20 yard catch, a little bit of yak, not the prototypical deep threat, really,
Yeah.
But Larry Fitzgerald had a similar career to Art Monk, and they're similarly built, and I would say that's the kind of guy you're looking at.
All right. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Maybe a little bit bigger than Larry, but in terms of his football play, very, very comparable to that. Because, Larry was known for the majority of his career as never dropping a ball. And I think it was he was like 13 or 14 years in, and the stat was that Larry Fitzgerald had more tackles than drops, just because of interceptions and things like that.
Yeah.
But
That's a good one. Well, I'll give you guys an interesting statistic, and I'll ask you the question. Can you name a team in which 3 wide receivers had 1,000-yard season in the same year?
a team where three wide receivers had 1,000 yards.
For the same team in the same year.
Well, I defer back to that offensive year where it was probably, and it probably wasn't receivers. You probably have a tight end mixed in there. But I was thinking Randy Moss, Julian Edelman, and but maybe Gronk wasn't there for that. I don't know.
I guess my point is it's hard to do because I can't think of one, except for Art Monk, Gary Clark, and Ricky Sanders for the Washington Redskins in 1989. I want to say. I think you guys have to look that up, but 89. But I know that all three of them had 1,000 receiving yards or more in the same season.
Wow.
And Art Monk was part of that, and that's come on now.
That's impressive.
How many teams can say that?
No.
Not a tight end in the mix. 3 wide receivers.
What year was that?
I want to say 89, but look it up.
Was
You'll see.
was that well, who was the running back that year?
I don't know. You'd have to.
I'll look it up.
I don't know. It might have been Gerald Riggs. I'll have to look it up too. But anyway, yeah, amazing stat, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, that's that even in today's offensive NFL, you don't come across that.
No.
Because I can think of like 2 wide receivers on a team, but very rarely is your third producing that. But then again, in today's NFL, the running back gets a lot more receiving yards than back in the 80s, whenever get.
Yeah.
But no. All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you jumping on and kind of telling us about Art Monk. His ceremony is going to take place at halftime. So unless you're at the game, Dad, you can't see it. So I guess we'll just have to record it for you.
Yeah.
They'll show
maybe
it
I
on
can
YouTube.
get something on YouTube.
Yeah. You'll be able to watch it back.
Hey, thanks for having me on again, Bob and Mike. And you guys have a great day. What are you eating today at the tailgate?
Lunch and dinner. It's Sunday Night Football, so we're getting there. We're gonna wait in line and coach here, plug the TV in, have lunch, watch the 1 o'clock games, watch 4 o'clock games, make some burgers, and then I got some stuff to make our classic queso dip, and then
Awesome.
head into the stadium. So yeah, we're basically just having a day in our van out in front of the stadium, all the way up until kickoff. So
What's the weather like?
it is going to be in the 50s, kind of topping out at like 62, somewhere around there. Nice fall.
Oh, nice,
day.
comfortably fall. That's football weather.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's not going to be raining like it was a couple weeks back. So.
Right. Yeah, that Bears game. Before you sign off here, give us a prediction.
I got us bouncing back. Our defense is going to show up today. It's a tough team. They're 5-2 or something. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a tough. But I think our defense is going to bounce back and really support the offense today. So I'm going 27-17 Commanders.
Nice.
27-17. I like it. That's a nice big win. Hopefully, come fourth quarter, Michael and I will be able to. By 2 scores there, we should be able to leave, but we probably wouldn't.
No.
Probably wouldn't.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
All right,
you
thanks,
too.
Dad. All right, thank you, Dad, for being on with us and giving us that insight to Art Monk. It's tough for me with that era, that glory days era. I mean, I know the history of our team and everything like that, but if you didn't spend every Sunday watching these players,
You're not going to know, and we don't. It was slightly before our time.
yeah. So I appreciate, and I had a good conversation with him the other day, talking about that. It is still so weird how, like, for whatever reason, he just didn't make it in. I'm curious what players did make it in that time frame where all the Hall of Fame voters weren't.
Yeah.
But
Hard to
anyway,
say.
so looking forward to seeing his ceremony at halftime and seeing what the team came up with to acknowledge him for his jersey retirement. 81 is kind of a prime time number for wide receivers too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty common number that a lot of players like to
Usually
pick.
anything in the 80s, between about 81 to 85, that's your prime wide receiver
Now
number.
it's retired, meaning nobody else can wear it, but I think that's loose, right? I think that's loose because maybe Theismann's jersey is retired. Is his?
I want to say it is.
Because I remember that Haskins had to ask him for permission to wear his jersey, but maybe it was just, maybe his number's not retired, but he
no
still
one
felt like he should ask.
Yeah, like no one wore it. I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
I don't know. But, so back to that same kind of conversation I was having with Pops there. Who do you think is our next Ring of Fame inductee worthy of making it up and around the bowl there at the stadium? Because I know Fletcher's in because they misspelled his name. That was the old ownership.
Well, hopefully they'll
And then
fix
Santana,
that.
they have.
With,
Santana's in. as of a couple weeks back.
Yeah, we saw that.
So who would you put in?
I mean, we're talking our generation of players, so 2000 and onward. Of course, your dad said, and we know there's not many to choose from just because the teams weren't that good. But for me, the only other one that really sticks out would be Kerrigan, because he was sort of the name of the defense there for a time. And of course, he's been on the coaching staff for the last couple seasons. And he's just, he's our kind of local guy that sort of stuck around the team. And I think he's deserving.
Yeah, and honestly, there's no time frame. Like, as soon as he's retired and not coming back, and it's made apparent that that's the case. And look, I don't know if anybody's seen Ryan Kerrigan lately, but he's not at his same playing weight. He's dropped some lbs.
Yeah, I mean, he's still fit. And,
he's super fit. He's probably more fit now than he was when he was playing. And that happens to a lot of players when they don't
carry the playing weight.
They don't need to sustain the same diet in terms of like constant bulking up. When they can get to like a cut type of a situation, they drop pounds. Some of these big guys, and vice versa. You'll see a lot of these small guys throughout their career. Once they stop running, they balloon up.
Yeah, the opposite sort of happens there.
Yeah, But yeah, no. I mean, I think Kerrigan is a great selection. He had a long career with us, and obviously came back home and continues with the coaching staff. And it was a fan favorite his entire career, and very productive, and we drafted him. So I think Kerrigan is a great answer for the Ring of Fame. I think he's a lock. Eventually, just depends on when they decide to do it.
They'll probably do it when he's no longer a coach.
I don't know. I mean, why let him leave to then recognize him? Maybe
that's just how I see it happening.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, look.
But if they surprise me, and great.
I wonder what his overall coaching goals are. Does he want to be a DC? Does he want to be a head coach? Is he fine with a defensive line coach, for the team that he played for his entire career? I'm curious what his goals are, because he's very well spoken.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. So, well, hey, what do you say we get into our can't lose locks?
Let's do it.
Can't lose locks.
Can't lose locks. Mikey, how's your record doing?
So far this season, or I'll say going into this week, I have a record of 77 and 45.
77-45.
And
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah,
a lot better than what I thought it would be.
Well, you've done this for a couple years there. Do you think that?
I think this is probably one of my better years. I'll have to see if there's a way if I could go back and look at previous years, but I don't think there is. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. I've definitely.
How did you do last week?
Well, it was close, okay? Because I think you kind of put it out into the environment that
the universe.
Yeah, that I was kind of due to not have a necessarily good week, and let's just say that I didn't have the best week. I ended up last week going 7-6.
Okay, still above 500. Still above 500.
Yeah.
So, no, that's good. Alternatively,
I mean, it's not
I
a
went
losing.
1-3 last year on my can't lose, or last
week.
On my can't lose locks.
Ooh.
Tom, I believe, went 2-2, and my overall season record has dipped to, you've got it in front of you there, I'm driving.
17-15.
17-15, I'm only 2 games up. And Tom is at
19-13.
All right. Well, I'm only 2 games back, so there's that. So any given Sunday, we can make a.
Yeah. You could bounce back this week. Who knows?
I think I am going to bounce back a bit this week. I feel really good about my picks. But let's go through your picks first.
All right. So Thursday night, I went with the Ravens over the Dolphins. So my current record is now 78 wins and the 45 losses.
The Ravens got Lamar back and looked good.
Yeah, I thought so. The little bit of the game that I watched, yeah.
I guess since our last podcast, there's been 2 Ravens games, and so Tom's happy. They beat the Bears. They beat the Dolphins.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling pretty good. I mean, they're starting to turn things around a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Looking at the 1 o'clock games this afternoon, I went with the Lions over the Vikings. I went with Green Bay over the Panthers. I went with the Broncos over the Texans. I went with the Patriots over the Falcons. Niners over the Giants. Colts over the Steelers. And for the final 1 o'clock game, I went with the Chargers over the Titans.
Chargers over Titans. Yes, that makes sense.
For the 4 o'clock games, I went with the Jaguars over the Raiders. I went with the Rams over the Saints. And I went with the Bills over the Chiefs. And I'll wait till later to tell you what I did for the Sunday night game, which is our game. But skipping to Monday night, I went with the Cowboys over the Cardinals.
Cowboys, Cardinals. Yeah. I'm going to be rooting for the Cardinals just like you, but
Well, yeah.
I kind of agree. Cardinals.
They're 2-5, so
Yeah, same division there as Seahawks.
NFC North. Yep.
West.
Oh, that's right. It's West. My bad.
Shame on you.
Oh, well, I'll do better next week.
No, I honestly, listening along there, kind of going game by game, if we're taking the points out of it, I'm with you on those. The
only one
game is Kansas City Bills.
Yes, but the one that I think could really flip the other way that I kind of struggled with was the Bengals and Bears game. I feel like it might end up being the Bears, but we'll see. And then, yeah, I was kind of on the fence with the Bills and Kansas City, just because when those two teams get together, man, it's always a hell of a game and really just a knife fight to the very end.
Well, I mean, I can tell you what I think about that Cincinnati-Chicago game. I think Flacco's going to win. Man, look at this guy, Mike. So we're on 270, folks.
Yeah, is that a fishing pole? Or 2 fishing poles?
This Chevy Suburban doesn't realize that his roof rack has kind of become undetached, and he's got 2 what looks like really expensive fishing poles just like off to the side.
I mean, I know that
flapping in the wind.
I know this episode is called Throwback to the Future, but I wasn't expecting to see a sort of a New Day sort of DeLorean thing, like they're literally trying to go back to the future.
Jeez, please look at this.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Idea, and I'm not going to speed up and tell him.
Yeah.
But he is kind of slowing down. What's he doing? I don't think he's he realizes.
I think he realizes now because he's pulling off to the shoulder.
Yeah. Oh, she realized it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they pulled off.
Okay.
His fishing pole. He almost lost his fishing pole. He had his wife pull off to the side of the road, which was dangerous in and of itself. Okay. Let's get back to our lots.
So do you want to get into your picks?
Yeah. So, no, let's do Tom's first. So what does Tom have? He picked first this week.
All right.
And he did good last week.
So again, Tom's overall record, according to your notes, 19-13.
Yep.
He took the Niners minus 2.5. He took the Bills over by 2.5.
It was Niners Giants, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And then, like I said, he took the Bills plus 2.5. The Jacksonville Las Vegas game, he says over 43.5. And then the Pittsburgh Indy game, he is going under 50.5.
Pittsburgh Indy.
That's what your notes say.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your handwriting.
Yeah.
So if it's wrong, you wrote it.
No, I like his picks. I mean the Bills Chiefs. It depends on what side of the fence you feel there with that game. I mean that game could go.
It could go either way.
Either way, even with that points. I mean, with at 2.5, you're basically it's a pick 'em. Unless it comes down to an extra point, but in which that game could very well come down to an extra point.
Well, CBS Sports has it at 2, plus or minus 2. So, yeah.
And then he's got Niners over Giants. I mean, yeah, I guess I'm good with his picks. He's got over on the Jacksonville Raiders.
Yeah, by 43.5. Over.
I mean, both those. I mean, I just don't think the Raiders have much of an offense, so but maybe he just thinks that Jacksonville's going to put up a lot. But because I've got Jacksonville, let's go through my picks. I got Jacksonville.
All right, so you've got Jacksonville minus 3, so winning by 3. Cincy plus 2.5. And you've got
Since he's at home getting points, I'll take that.
And then that game, Chicago Cincy, you've got that under 51.5.
Yeah.
And then our game
51.5 just seemed like a lot.
Yeah, it does, especially for that game.
Yeah.
So I agree with you there. And then
I took the over in the Sunday night matchup.
You took the over on ours, over 48.5.
Over 48. Yep. I think it's going to be over that. So it's tough making these predictions and now putting it, making the picks.
Because I've got a score in mind for that game one way or the other. So yeah, I agree with you.
But he's got 49ers over the Giants minus 2.5, and I wonder if that is basically. I think 49ers win that game outright, but the point spread seems really tight there, considering that you boys scattaboo, scattaboo.
Well, I mean,
scattaboo.
They don't really have anything. They don't really have anything left. The Giants, their offense, their two biggest players are now.
Dart looks decent.
Yeah,
decent Dart.
But their two biggest offensive playmakers are done for the season. So,
and you already know what injury he got there, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Well, hey, I've been calling these injuries out. You know this, right? The proof is in the pudding. Push that button. Did you see that Tyreek Hill injury? I'll tell you what the injury is. His foot was facing the wrong way.
I saw the replay.
His foot was facing the wrong way. But been put on the injury report. Foot facing wrong direction.
1 week later.
I don't remember what the exact injury was, but
I'll tell you what the injury was.
What was it? Because I missed it.
Kind of like Tyreek Hill. His foot was facing the wrong direction. It's the second time.
1 week later.
Dart, pressure up the middle, throws, tipped, and it's incomplete. Eagles came free on a stunt up the middle. I think it was Zach Baun that time.
It was on the coverage, and now Scattaboo was slow to get up. Oh, no.
It was ankle. Oh, no. Oh, man.
Time out for injury. Yeah, I was devastated. It's my boy, man. So seeing him go down and obviously like reacting to what happened, and that sucks. It's the worst part of this game.
Feel absolutely terrible for the young man. Obviously, you saw it, or it looked bad. You feel for anybody on your team that goes down and has a really bad injury, and I know the players feel the same way about Scat.
So pretty heartbreaking there for Giants fans. I know that Scattaboo became a pretty quick fan favorite with what seemed like their new backfield in Dart and Scattaboo.
And it's ironic that more or less the same injury has happened now twice.
What? Foot facing wrong direction?
Foot wrong direction, yeah.
Facing wrong direction has been quite the injury, and you hate to see it. I mean, even though he's in our division, I don't.
You don't like to see injuries like that.
No, you don't. I want people to be banged up, not out for the season. There's a big difference. I think a lot of football fans can kind of.
And in a different time in the league, that could be a career ender.
Oh yeah, if that injury happens like 25 years ago, he's done.
Yeah,
he's done. It's hard to come, but yeah, they know how to treat that stuff. Anybody, yeah, dislocated ankle. Whereas I know that with Tyreek Hill's injury, it was knee. It happened at the knee joint. ACL, PCL, MCL, all the LCLs.
Yeah, all the L's. Yeah.
And then Fred Warner, I did research back on to see exactly what joint his was. But yeah, I hate to see it. It's happening a lot this season.
It is. And there are just, outside of those injuries, there are players just taking some odd falls, odd steps, odd tweaks that aren't resulting in injuries, but just legs and arms and stuff are just twisting. They're just twisting in odd directions.
Yeah, I know that there's injuries every season, right? But it seems like maybe it's just high-profile players are getting hit. Obviously, our team, Burrow's been out. There's a lot of really talented. Lamar's been out. So, yeah, really don't like to see the injuries because you want to see the star players play.
Yeah.
But what else is going around the league?
So I'm going to start off about the Miami Dolphins because I've said for weeks now, I even said early on that, he would be fired, their head coach, that he would be fired by, I believe I said week 7 if we check the tape. I think I gave him through week 7.
I said week 4.
Well, as it turns out, we were both wrong. But they did make some moves this week. But instead of firing McDaniels, they decided to fire their general manager. And McDaniels is going to remain the coach for at least the remainder of the season, which means he'll be gone on Black Monday once the season is over. And just to put a pin and wrap this up, did you see that there's apparently some uproar online because the Dolphins GM is African American and people are saying that he took the hit instead of McDaniels and it wasn't right, and there's a whole apparent unfortunate racial component happening there.
Well, that's unfortunate because I did not see that. And it's unfortunate because, look, proof is in the pudding. The results are the results. If your team's not doing good, then your job is on the chopping block.
And somebody's got to take the hit, whether it's the general manager or the head coach or both. Someone has to take that bullet, in a sense. Okay.
Yeah, and typically the ownership opts to fire the head coach first. One, because, heck, they're throwing in the towel, fire the head coach, see what an interim can do, and if they don't do anything, at least we get a better draft pick.
Right.
When it's all said and done. But at the same time, too, there's something to be said about, no, continue to try, continue to go out there and try to win games. Your GM is your head scout, essentially, depending upon how your organization is set up. He's obviously in charge of the draft and what players the coach gets to coach.
Right.
So it's an interesting time frame to fire him before the trade deadline like this, assuming that the Dolphins would be sellers at the trade deadline. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't get involved with those racial conversations about that. I hope that that's not the case. But
it's
he's only 2 years removed from being touted as a really, really, really good GM. He was making lots of big moves in Miami for about 2 years ago there when McDaniels started gelling his hair and wearing his expensive sunglasses. Everybody thought that Miami was something to look out for. But, the whole tank for Tua didn't really work.
Yeah.
And guess what? Now they're talking about getting rid of Tua.
I'm not surprised.
The tank for Tua, if that was his decision, or if he was the GM under that reign, and now your whole plan to get Tua in the building to lead to championships, if that didn't work, then that's a fireable offense, and that's how the NFL works.
Well, he's going to be gone at he's going to be gone at the end of the season anyway.
It sounds like he could be gone. It sounds like McDaniel's going to be gone. There's murmurs that Tua can be gone. I don't know what Tua's contract is, but
I saw something. I'll see if I can dig it up, but he's got a pretty heavy contract. I'll just put it to you that way.
Okay.
So, other news, of course, the Lions extended Aiden. He signed a 4-year, $180 million contract. 141 of that is guaranteed money.
Wait, say those numbers again.
4 years, 180 million, 141 guaranteed. So they're going to start locking. Seems like they're going to start locking down some of their players. So,
wow, that is quite the contract. That's not quite Myles Garrett money, is it? Is it Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, then him in terms of defensive player contracts?
Micah for sure. I'm not sure about Garrett. But speaking about Garrett, there's a rumor I saw online that the Eagles might be willing to trade 3 first-rounders for Myles Garrett.
The Eagles will trade 3 first-round picks for the Cleveland Browns to give them Myles Garrett, and the Cleveland Browns haven't done it yet?
It doesn't look that way. It's
Myles Garrett's
just a rumor.
He's 33, 34.
Mid-30s, yeah. Mid-30s sounds about right, yeah.
And, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, he's definitely one of the better pass rushers in the league. And I would think probably a Hall of Famer. But 3 first-round picks for someone that
I think that's entirely too much.
Even though he's the best at his position this year, is he going to be the best at his position in 2 years from now?
Yep. And we're finally hitting some traffic.
And Myles Garrett, there's always been trade rumors and release
for the last couple seasons.
He demanded it. Was it before this season?
I think when he ended up with Cleveland, he was with the Raiders before and demanded
No, he's been with the Browns. No, he's been with the Browns. He had like a holdout, like a Terry situation.
Oh, he was a holdout? Okay. Yeah,
it's like, well, if you're not going to pay me, trade me.
we're hitting some pretty big traffic right now.
Well,
And then-
must be why we saw the ETA kind of get pushed back. We're definitely not going to be parked up in time to get.
Just
1
watch
o'clock.
out in front of you there. And then the last thing concerning our team, Washington, the only real name that I've heard is that we could more likely than not be putting Lattimore on the trade block.
Well, I mean, congratulations for Lattimore having his first interception with us, but and just so everybody knows what we're talking about here, trade deadline comes up this Tuesday at 4 o'clock.
So basically in 48 hours.
48 hours. You know, if you have spots to fill on your team, or you feel like you've got some cap money to spend to fill in some gaps before the playoff push, then this is what people are doing. So this is where, if your season is gone, then you get rid of players that aren't going to be on your team next year. Get what you can from a desperate team that needs some positions filled that's got a better record. So as far as Lattimore goes, I think this is the last year of his contract. So people would be trading for his contract for just the last half of this season.
And I think if we trade him, we're responsible for like the 8.5 million that's remaining on his contract. So we have to eat that money.
Now we don't have any I think we've only got 5, maybe. I think we only have 5 draft picks, maybe 6. But there's a lot of later round picks too.
But I think what we're going to do, if anything, at the trade deadline is really going to be dependent on tonight's game, honestly.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, we haven't made the decision yet if we are buyers or sellers, I don't think. Because if we win this game tonight, then we're 4-5, and depending upon how we win it, how unscathed we are coming out of this game, a lot can still happen this season. A lot can still happen. You always hear about a team that's teetering right at around 500 come Thanksgiving that turns it on and pulls away.
Yep.
And that could easily be us.
But what about you? Did you pick up anything around the league?
Nope. Leave the league. Talk to you. I've just been kind of excited about what's going to happen, what players are going to get moved, what is the temperature check with a lot of these teams, like who are buyers, who are sellers. And I'm not surprised that Lattimore's name is getting thrown out there, because I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of teams think that he's just not a scheme fit. Maybe he just doesn't fit into our scheme. And he would fit in better with them and kind of perform how he did when he was with his early days.
Well, that's what we were expecting, and we certainly didn't get that. So
right. Well, obviously Dan Quinn is excited about Marshawn Lattimore's play last week because, well, let's let him tell you.
So I thought, what a cool weekend that we're really honored as a team to be a part of, and see number 81 being retired by the team. Man, what a cool thing. And that receiver, like when you hit it at that big, such a cool thing. He's truly a heavy hitter here. And for us throwback jerseys, there's just a lot. Cool weekend, great matchup. Captains wise, on offense, it'd be Zach Ertz. Defense, Marshawn Lattimore. And on special teams, Percy Butler. All 3 of these guys just thought a lot of resilience, and I know they'll set the tone coming on Sunday night. So all that said, ready to get rocking with you.
All right. So obviously Dan Quinn excited about Lattimore's performance, making him a captain. I like how I don't know if every team does this, but I like how we're constantly rotating the captains, giving some of our leaders on the team opportunities to.
Well, I think most teams just pick captains at the beginning of the season, and that's that. I don't think they rotate the way we've been doing it.
Martell. I don't know. I don't pay attention to other teams' captains' picks the same way I pay attention to ours. But it is just nice to see recognition kind of dispersed around. And we'll never know exactly how Dan Quinn makes his decision. But let's get into our Seahawks. So the Seahawks, for the most part, I've never really been a fan. I like Marshawn Lynch, but throughout the years, I've never really rooted for them in any which way.
No.
I think it all kind of stemmed from, aren't they the ones that are considered to have really killed RG3?
Yes, that's the 2012 game, which was the one that sticks out the most to me. But it seems like just generally, in the few times we've made the playoffs, in previous seasons, we're always playing them in that either the wild card game or the first divisional round, whatever. So they're always, and we always lose to them. So, that's kind of how they stick out to me, because we always face them as soon as we get in the playoffs. And it's like, can we just face another team for once?
Right. But they've got some good player. They've made some good additions. This is like their year one of a new regime, their new head coach. And without Geno Smith. So, what you got some stats for me?
Well, they've got a 5-2 record, of course. Their only 2 losses have come to the Niners and Tampa Bay.
Okay, 2 good teams.
Offensively, they are 11th in total yards at 350.6. They are 9th in pass yards at 252.7. They are 21st in rush yards at 106.1. And they are 5th in overall points at 27.6.
So we got to stop the run against Kenneth Walker. And we're going to have to stop their passing game too. I mean, they're on the top half of those offensive statistics.
Yeah. Now, defensively, they are 10th in total yards at 305.9. They are 25th in pass yards at 253.7.
So you're saying we can throw it against them?
Yes. They are, again, this is defensively, they are first in rush yards at 75.7, so we can also run it against them.
Okay.
Which is good for us. And they are 7th in points at 19.4. So there's some stats for you.
Okay. All right.
So yes, we can pass it against them and we can run it. So if we hit those 2 obvious phases, who knows? Could work in our favor. Could be the bounce back game that your dad was referencing, but we'll see.
I mean, we need a bounce back game. If we've ever needed a bounce back game more, I can't remember. We need a true bounce back in every sense of the word, in the sense that our offense needs to get back meshing. We were missing out Terry. I saw a report earlier this morning that says that we might miss him for a second week. So we really need no more excuses. I mean, Debo's back. We've got Luke. Still, Noah Brown, I believe, is still out.
Yes, I believe he is.
Ertz is playing really good. We need offensively things to click, because I think what we're waiting for is for our defense to help out our offense. But what's going to need to happen is our offense is going to need to help our defense. We are going to need to take the time of possession up. We need the ball more. We need to keep our defense on the sideline. We need to sustain long drives that end in points in order for us to get out of our our funk and bounce back is kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And our special teams can help our offense, which is why Luke is so important.
Because he's great on the punt returns.
For the punt returns and the kick returns. Just think of the difference of taking the ball out on the 25 or the 30 or the 35. If Luke can get us up to the 40, then we've only that makes the drives that much more sustainable.
Yep.
It gives us that extra down that it seems like we need a lot of times on that fourth down. And it's a lot less pressure when you're in the middle of the field there and you're in a fourth down situation where you can easily go on fourth down. Because that fourth down feels like a third down, which is how it felt like a lot of our fourth downs were last year. It was like, oh, well, there's less pressure for a lot of our fourth and go situations. And that makes the third downs that much less pressure because you already know going into that third down, well, if we don't get it here, we're in a fourth down situation. You know what I mean? A 3rd and 2, it's like, oh, we don't get it, we're going for it. It's like, oh, okay, no problem. You get 2 more plays to go. But now, hopefully, Lattimore coming off of a great game and him being a captain, hopefully he can play some good defense today because we're going to need him to. Seattle's wide receiver, Smith Najigba, however his name is pronounced, he's leading the NFL.
In receiving yards, yeah.
How many yards is he up to already? Close to 900 yards?
Like 820.
Okay, so, yeah, if he doesn't get if he doesn't have 1,000 yards receiving this year, something's off. And
well, we're 9 weeks in. I think he should quite easily probably hit 1,000.
Yeah,
because he's got more than enough time to do it.
Somewhere around 50 catches. So at halfway through to have 50 catches is pretty damn good too. If 100 is your marker of having like a really good season, and 1,000 being a really good year in receiving yards. But so we are getting off the exit here, coming down into FedEx. So what do you think are some of the keys to a win this week?
A lot similar to what you were saying. Mainly, we got to keep the defense under control, like we played in the first half against Kansas City.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a big thing for me. Run game's got to get back to it, but more importantly, kind of like what you were saying, really got to get JD and Debo on the same page, get them clicking, and if those 3 things can happen, I think we can quite easily have the bounce back game that we so desperately need, because I know how you like stats and stuff, and a few weeks ago I gave you some stats on 2-2 teams making playoffs and stuff.
Yeah, at the quarter mark. So I guess if we're at the halfway mark or point here, you've got to tell me, all right, so what are the percent chances that a team at 3-5 makes the playoffs?
Okay. It is prior to the expanded playoff format.
Okay.
The percentage was at 10.6. Okay.
So you're saying there's a chance.
But in 2020, 2021, when they went to the expanded format, and I think we're up to however many playoff teams now, that actually increases. So our true possibility is 27.3%.
Okay. What was all this 1 in a million talk?
I didn't say 1 in a million. Who the fuck says that?
I was quoting Dumb and Dumber, but I guess you missed out on that.
Yeah. So 27.3% chance of making the playoffs. I like those odds a little bit better. So we'll see what happens, but we definitely need to win today to have any shot of making the playoffs.
This is a must win. So 3-5 sounds bad. You know what sounds worse? 3-6. What sounds way better? 3-6 or 4-5. 4-5 sounds way better than 3-6.
Love the sound of 4-5.
Well, not at the beginning of the season. We didn't like
no,
the
but
sound of it,
now
we're here. We're living it.
Where we are now, okay? Forget about what we thought. Where we are now, love the sound of that.
Yeah, because at 3-6, and I don't even want to look ahead into the weeks.
No, and see, and that's the thing. We can't look ahead. We have to go week by week. We can't get ahead of our skis and think 2 games down the road. We just need to worry about the week in front of us.
But we're not playing in the games, so me and you, we can think about next week. Next week we got the Lions.
We'll talk about that next week, okay? We got to get
home, so we'll be commanding the commute next week as well. But so we have pulled down Sheriff Road. We are going to see if we can't sneak in here. I hope they don't have this little red zone driveway blocked off for us. But regardless, we're gonna drive past this little driveway. Oh, Mike, is that a car up there in our drive?
No.
That's that truck with the
lights. After. That's the school next door.
Slightly after. You're right. Okay. Let's see. Do they have it roped off or anything?
No.
Oh, you got people all the way up there, dude. We're gonna be sitting in line just like we thought we were going to. We're about 4 cars back.
And just to give the listeners sort of where we are time-wise, it is about 1:30. And officially, I believe the lot opens at 3. So just sort of time reference and perspective. If you ever get here this early, this is what we're talking about.
Right. So we're gonna stop up here, grab a quick bag of ice. We're gonna put you guys on pause while we grab this bag of ice, and then we're gonna circle back to the red zone and let you know what this line looks like getting into the stadium. Is this our 7-Eleven? How the heck do we get in and out of this place in our van? Carefully. All right, we're gonna put you on a quick pause, people. Okay, we got that ice. We can finally drink our drinks when we get here. Well, it depends on what daylight saving time you're in, but we're about 8 hours.
Is it 1:30? Is it 2:30? 7, 8 hours.
Doesn't matter. So, we've got lunch and dinner. What kind of sandwiches?
Club subs.
From where?
Jersey Mike's. So it's like turkey and ham.
Heck yeah. I'll be honest, I'm kind of hungry.
I agree.
So we're going to get into this red zone lot, and hopefully it's not too uncomfortable for us, and hopefully some of these 1 o'clock games are streaming on some type of app I got.
Yeah, they've got to be. Get into the predictions of the game. How do you think this one's going to shape out?
Great question. I got us winning. In a close one, but I've got us winning in a high-scoring game. So I'm going 30-26. 30-26, Washington over Seattle.
I agree. I think we are going to win. I think it's going to be the bounce-back game that we need. And hopefully will be the reset that we need going forward. But I think the final score is going to be a smidge closer. I think it's going to be more 28-24-ish is kind of what I'm thinking.
28-24. Oh, we got a guy here. He wants to talk to us. Hey, what's happening? What's that?
Red zone?
Yeah, red zone.
Okay.
Are you going to let us in a little early?
It's up to my boss.
So we just gonna park up here and wait?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
That sounds great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Looked like we got in right in time. Look, these guys in that gator, they got a gator full of cones. They're probably going to make sure that no one else gets in. But
hey, that's cool.
I'm glad he didn't turn us around or anything. These people up here really set the precedent.
I mean, they can't really turn us around when there's, half a dozen cars in front of us, maybe more.
Right, exactly right.
So,
Exactly right. Okay, so let's see.
And the people we're pulling up on, they're already pretty much going to do what we're doing. They got their chairs out there. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 cars in front of us. So we are car number 11.
Perfect.
Actually,
we all post up with these people.
It's a smidge more than that because
we're here. We are there, man. All right, so we are about 12, what'd you say, 12, 15, 20 cars back.
I didn't see the double line that was happening
chugging beers already. So, I'm excited. What'd you say your final score prediction was going to be?
28-24.
28-24. And I have 30-26. And this is going to be a true hail to the Redskins type of a night. How epic would it be if instead of hail to the Commanders, they played hail to the Redskins?
I would love it. I mean, I've been stoked about this game ever since they told us about the new throwback jerseys, which we'll be wearing, and you've already been showing off throughout the video clips of the pod.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, I'm hungry. Let's eat some of these sandwiches. Let's try to figure out this TV. Let's get this podcast uploaded. Hail to the Redskins. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. If you don't mind, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a review. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on all of it. So give us a like, give us a share, and comment. Let us know. We want to meet you. I'm still waiting to hear from our Singaporean listener as to what you're eating during the tailgate. So I know you're a loyal listener. I know you're listening. Slide into our DMs and tell us what you're eating right now. Hail to the Redskins. Bye, y'all.
I said, give me a hell yeah!
Thanks for listening to the Command the Commute podcast. I now welcome you to crack a cold beer, cook up some chicken wings, and enjoy the football game. Because the Commanders, the team, the Redskins, or whatever else you call them, is gonna kick some ass. If this is a home game, Bob and Michael will be in the Red Zone lot at Northwest Stadium. We encourage you to come to our tailgate and say hello. If you are still listening to the podcast, wow, you are an extremely loyal listener. I wonder how much longer you'll stay. Hey, I've got a question. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? You've got mail. Goodbye.